Okay, this one is from Adam Friedman from Somerville. What role does public financing of elections, instant runoff voting, and other electoral and process reforms play in moving Obama's agenda forward? If you can answer.
Yeah, we are not an electoral entity, right? You know, we're Organizing for America is about advancing the policies of the president. But if I take that hat off, because I do have an electoral background, you know, it's interesting. Like if you look at a number of states that don't allow early voting, you know, we have supporters in those states who want to organize around getting that on the ballot or getting that passed, or in getting same-day registration on voter registration, or on getting one-stop absentee voting. North Carolina has a great voting sort of system there, where you can literally show up, they have a one-stop, you can register absentee in the same day. You know, it's pretty remarkable. So a lot of our supporters, we're not necessarily directing that from you know, Washington, D.C., but as groups just like this are getting together and asking themselves, well, what should we prioritize, what should we do? You know, I think everyone wants to be supportive of the president's agenda, but that might not be a 24/7 job, and you might want to work on a local referendum, and you know, we're encouraging folks to do that.
Thank you. This question is from Marjorie Leary of Brookline. How do we provide supports for other states, being that we're from Massachusetts? Are there phone banks calling other states to support other organizers in their states, and or would that be possible?
Yeah, no, you know, I mentioned this briefly earlier, and I think that would be a perfect role for you know, this organization to play. So what I'd ask to do is for folks to during your breakout session, come up with thoughts on what worked and what did not work during the primary and the general election, and then run that up the structure, and then we can provide you know, states where we have an organization in place to provide basically the feedback, so that as you are calling into a state, we have someone there to capture the enthusiasm that you help generate.
Okay, from Emily Silverstein from Boston. With the Kennedy Serve America Act and the new White House Office of Social Innovation, there's a growing energy and urgency around the need for service. Are there ways that OFA can support this movement on the ground?
Yes, and that is a great question and a timely question. I think you'll see here in the next week or two, Organizing for America will send out information on how you can start identifying public service projects within your community that you want to organize around. Our thought is that we'd like you to identify potential healthcare related public service projects in your community, so to help amplify and tie directly into what's happening in Washington. But there's a number of other very worthy public service projects that you know, every community has. And Organizing for America, you know, it's called, it will be called something, I don't think I can say it yet. I would say it, but I think, you know, people above me, it's not ready to roll out. But yes, it's in the works. It is in the works, and it's something that I think everyone will feel very good about. And you know what? It's a great opportunity for you to grow this organization, because it's not necessarily seen as a political or frankly even a policy effort. It's about helping your community, and a great way to get folks engaged and involved and invested in what we do is to get them to do something that you know, is frankly just helping the community. From another standpoint, why I think this is very important is that you all get to see firsthand the benefit of the work that you're doing. Now, you know, we're organizing around policy and legislation in Washington, and sometimes you can't necessarily see the fruits of your labor. But if you go and help build a community health clinic, or if you help sign kids up for S-CHIP, or if you help you know, a local food pantry, or if you you know, a number of other things, you can see that firsthand. And we want to make sure that you all you know, experience that, because you certainly deserve it. And the fruits of your labor is something you should be able to feel, touch, and see on a daily basis, and you can do that through service.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last question, maybe? Are we doing on time?
4 minutes.
Okay, so this may be one more. If we're trying to promote grassroots democracy and empowerment, we'll need to find ways to include different voices in shaping policy, not just finding ways to follow decisions and policies made by leaders. How is OFA hoping to create empowered citizenry?
Well, that's a great question. And you know, one of the first things that we did when the economic recovery package passed, we sent, there's 3 Republican senators who supported it. And we sent an email in those states to our list saying, please congratulate Senators Snowe and Collins. You know, for the DNC, that's not something that generally happens. The other thing that I would say to this is, we've had a number of people come up to us now who supported John McCain and volunteered for John McCain during the general election.